Hello, Stratters. Bobgar here, playing some white-blue flicker $10 deck in Modern for Magic Gathering Strat. I would love to keep the 6-land Frost Titan hand, but that's probably incorrect. Man, 1-land double Frost Titan also feels very incorrect, especially when that land does not tap for mana. Alright, well, we're doing it live. I guess I'll put that on top because at least I can play it early. Hello. Good luck. He plays a blue. I guess that's not what I played. He also plays a blue. Actually, I played a white. So I'm probably in Evoke Mulldrifter land. Old Mully. Which is unfortunate. But I mulled pretty low, and that happens sometimes. I can't imagine winning this game without evoking a Mulldrifter. I like playing Soul Warden because it also... Maybe I should have played... instead of playing Island, I should have just played Nether Plains, so I would have thought I was like Mono White Soul Sisters or something. Probably would have been better, but that's fine. Hopefully he bolts it here, because it's the card that I care absolutely the least about. Oh, this is Storm. I do not think we have a good Storm matchup. I don't think we have a good Storm matchup at all, and I don't think it's going to work. Evoke, we're way too slow, and they don't play creatures, and we're kind of somewhat built around creatures. Okay. Oh, I got a Panharmonicon, which I guess I'll play next turn. Get in there, Soul Warden. You got this. I guess Magus of the Disc would be good if he's trying to win with Empty the Warrens. Yeah, Storm is not the strongest deck, but I don't think there's any chance in hell that we could beat it. I guess, man. Panharmonicon looks the most fun. If we got a 5th land, it would be very good, because then we could Riftwing Cloudskate bounce too, but I don't know if I'm going to get 5th land. I think I'm going to Max of the Disc. So he has to flip it this turn, or I will kill it. And his Pyromancer's Ascension too. So, it's not the play I wanted to make, but it's probably the safer play. Okay, yeah, he probably just flips it here though. With 4 mana, or at least 3 mana and 6 spells in hand, it would be hard for me to imagine him not flipping it. He doesn't kill me as soon as he flips it, mind you, but I still think he flips it. Faithless Looting. Okay. Goes to 2. He's trying to find enough spells to flip it, I assume. Does he have it? If he doesn't, I'm actually in pretty good shape here. He bolts the Soul Warden, sure. Goes to 1. And he flips it. He has Visions from Beyond. And he gets to swing for 7. Yeah, pretty good. We'll see what I draw. If I draw a land, I feel pretty good. Alright. Actually, back up. What do I want to do? I have a couple options. I could Panharmonicon and say, listen, I'm Panharmoniconing. I'm going to take 7. That's fine. But next turn I'm going to get to bounce 2 things with Riftwing. That could be worth it. Or I could just Riftwing here, bounce that to hand, and say, hey, it's going to take you a while to flip this, isn't it? I think I'll just do that. I mean, it's the safest play. It's the least fun play, but it's the safest play. Okay, I'll bounce that to your hand. Alright, well, that's one Awoken Horror out of the way. Oof, he took damage off that. He must have a lot of stuff to play. Plays Thing in the Ice. Passes. We got a Nimbus Maze. I'm going to play down Mistmeadow Witch, I guess. And that can either reset the counters on Thing in the Ice, or just flicker Riftwing Cloudskate. Or, yeah, that's a bunch of options. Maybe he'll counter it? I don't know. He can't mana leak it, because I have enough mana for that, but that would keep me off of using its ability as soon as it hits. Gotta love the Kithkin Wizards. Manamorphose, sure. Another Manamorphose, sure. He's going to turn on Pyromancer's Ascension. I could bounce Pyromancer's Ascension if I want to, instead of bouncing the Thing in the Ice. A Thought Scour, so Pyromancer's Ascension is now turned on. Go to next stage. Lightning bolt that. Flicker this. Sure. So he can now flicker was. He can now kill this instead. Sure. Now the only question I have is, do I bounce the Pyromancer's Ascension? How does this read? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell with Pyromancer's Ascension has 2 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So he could go off with that if he has sufficient spells. Okay, this comes in. I think I'm actually better off bouncing Pyromancer's Ascension to hand. I mean, maybe that's the wrong choice. It just feels like it's harder for him to win from there. And I still have the Magus of the Disc in hand, so another thing in the ice, sure. Doesn't play down his Pyromancer's Ascension, interestingly. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, well, that's not enough to do both, so slam down Magus Disc. Remand. Oh, it does keep me off it for a turn, doesn't it? Sure. Alright, well, that could be enough. We'll see. Come on, Reflector Mage or something. I think I have to block with Riftwing this turn. He plays Pyromancer's Ascension. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't have trample or anything, right? Oh, does he bolt? He's almost out of cards too. That's the thing. I find it hard to believe that he still has this many cards. He bolts my face. Okay. Well, now I'm forced to chump block. Block here. Play down Thraben Inspector. Does he have another remand? Please don't have another remand. He's tanking like he has a remand. Alright, well, I'm gonna try Magus. If he has, I guess if he has Mana Leak, that gets it too. He doesn't. Alright, pass turn. I can break the clue now. Faithless Lootings. And he just needs to hit another thing to flip the other thing in the ice, and then he wins. So I think he just wins here. Oof. Yep, you got it. Well, I think his draw was pretty lucky, but it's also just a matchup I'm not going to win much of the time. Sure. I will scoop to that. Alright, so negates come in. They're not super good against him, honestly, but they're better than nothing. So do Fragmentizes. I'm gonna go down 1 Frost Titan just because I think it's too slow. Same with Riftwing and Mulldrifter, go down a little bit. Magus of the Disc is kind of nice because it does hit everything. I'm still a little high. The Soul Warden feels terrible to me. So what else do I want? I think I gotta keep the rest of it. The rest of it I think is all too useful to get rid of. Panharmonicon could be too cute. I never ended up playing it there. I just needed to be too proactive, so I'll take out one of those. And I think that's right. I think that's about what I want to be. Well, if I had drawn a little better, that one could have gone my way, but I think it's a pretty hard matchup anyway. But yeah, Reflector Mage on Thing in the Ice is pretty strong. So I don't think actually I don't think it's that bad. I was kicking myself because I was like, oh, it's going to be such a bad matchup because I have things like Reflector Mages, but he does run things that actually Reflector Mages are great against, so that's not so bad. And the Fragmentize is going to be really strong, and Negate too. Those are all going to be strong against his various pieces. I get to be first now. I think I keep this. It's not exactly what I would call the best thing I've ever seen. Obviously, turn 1 is going to be nothing. Turn 2 is probably just going to be a Wall of Omens. I don't think he has a turn 1 play that would warrant anything else. But, you know, I have both types of mana, and I have 4 mana, and I have 2 extra draws to these Wall of Omens, and I have a way to disrupt Pyromancer's Ascension. So, given that, I think this hand is sufficient. It's not good. There are things I'm not going to be able to deal with. Thinking the Ice is going to be a blowout for me a little bit, although at least I do get value off of replaying my walls, and they can chump block that thing for a couple turns if it turns it on. But, and speaking of which, I have a Momentary Blink. That actually, sure. Fragmentize, Momentary Blink, Wall of Omens, Wall of Omens. You see it. It is here. You now know my terrible secrets. Alright, he's writing down all my cards. Alright, well, that's good. Eerie Interlude's not really what I wanted to draw there, but it's fine. I'll just play out a second Wall of Omens, I guess. He has a thing in the ice, that's the thing that I'm not going to be super strong against here, although it's not the end of the world either. I don't think I'm worried about him setting it off next turn. I think this turn I'm probably just playing another Wall of Omens. I could hold up Eerie Interlude, just so I don't have to recast one of my walls. That doesn't seem worth it. Recasting the walls isn't a big deal, and I'm not short on mana, so I think I just play probably just a Plains, although I guess Plains is the one he doesn't know about, so maybe I play Nimbus Maze. I don't think he's going to destroy Nimbus Maze, and even if he did, it wouldn't super matter here. Alright, he lets me go. Now I'll play the one he knows about. This can, just to see it, can tap for either, so that's the one I'll leave up. I'll just play another Wall of Omens, draw another card. And I get another land. Alright, well, I'm a little flooded, but that's alright. No plays. You must want to do them all at once, maybe. Mulldrifter is pretty sweet. Do I actually want to use it now? Probably not. I probably want to wait to use Mulldrifter till next turn, where I can just draw 4 cards off it. That feels bad, but I guess that's the way it is. Sure, he lightning bolts my face, gets a counter off. Visions Beyond gets a counter off on his turn. Metamorphosis gets a counter off. Into any spell he has, he's going to be able to flip it. Lightning helixes me. It doesn't kill me though, so I mean, I guess. Yeah, I think I do this. I think it's worth it just to. Unfortunately, they don't come back until end of turn, but still. So he gets to do 7 here. I get my 2 creatures back, draw 2 more cards. Wow. Curiouser and Curiouser. Man, I think I just gotta pass turn here. Maybe Eerie Interlude again. The other option is I could evoke a Mulldrifter and then Momentary Blink. I think I pass it. I think I pass an Eerie Interlude. I think that's the right play. I don't know for sure though. Alright, what does he have? Does he just have triple burn spell? Because that would kill me. A lot of other things I can at least block for a little while. Plays a Pyromancer's Ascension? Sure. Can he actually set it off here? Well, he's going to try. He's going to get a couple counters on it, I guess. He gets 1. I'm going to fragmentize it on my turn, obviously. Block here. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see what I get. I get to draw 2 cards, see if that changes my thoughts on what I want to do. Definitely fragmentize that. I might just Momentary Blink a wall again. I think I just need something better. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, Thraben Inspector is not bad either. White mana. Fragmentize here. Oh man, I could play Thraben Inspector and then crack a clue and have Momentary Blink up. No, I don't have Momentary Blink if I just used it. And I could just play Wall of Omens, Thraben Inspector, then crack a clue and just be like, I have a million things to block. I mean, if he has something that kills my stuff, I'm in trouble anyway. I guess I just pass. Okay, he has another thing in the ice, and if he flips it here, I'm in deep trouble. Oh, and I took myself off of... I shouldn't have played the Thraben Inspector, I think. Alright, so I think he just wins here if he can just flip this, which he probably can. Oh, maybe not, actually. Okay. I'll just block with the Thraben Inspector, that's fine. Pass turn, crack clue. The ultimate in durdling. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna slam down Frost Titan. Just keep that tapped down. But if he has the flip for the thing in the ice, which I assume he does, he just wins anyway. So, and I think there's just nothing else I can do, so I just play down Thraben Inspector. I think he has this, basically. He would have to have a pretty bad 3 cards there to not have it. Well, he'd have to, I guess he has to have all 3 cards be... oh, he has another thing in the ice. Alright, well that's good news for me. As long as these last 2 aren't cantrips that cantrip him into more cantrips. Okay, well he has another Lightning Helix, takes me to 1 life. Okay, I drew another land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can both hardcast a Mulldrifter and still Eerie Interlude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems worth it. I draw. Still none of my negates. Well, I attack in with these 2. I'll keep that tapped down. I'll probably block that one, take 6. Alright. Then I think I have to Eerie Interlude here. I think it's the only way I'm gonna win. I'm gonna have a million freaking cards at least. I think I need to do it now because I need to tap down at least the other. I want to make sure that the Alright, well, it's a lot of cards. Tap that down. I mean, anything he draws he can play. End of turn. Land. Actually, I'm probably more likely to play the Wall of Omens name the Mulldrifter, so I think I'll go to the Mulldrifter. Anger of the Gods, sure. It's a little annoying. Kills 2 of my guys. He passes turn. Sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so close to the double Panharmonicon. Because you asked so nicely. I think I'm momentary blinking right now, so I think I might as well Wall of Omens here. Draw even more cards. The gate is actually really nice. So I swing in here for sure. tap down. So I tap down the one that can block, and then blink him, and then tap down the other two. Guess that's what I do. So tap down. Actually, maybe I just tap down his lands. Is that better? Just leave him with 2 blue and get rid of all his red because I'm scared of his burn. No, because he will bounce all my guys and they'll be able to swing in. So I need to tap down all his guys. So tap that. Okay, he lets me through. Excellent, excellent. And I guess do I want to wait? I probably shouldn't wait. I should probably just Momentary Blink now. What does it do? It does. I think it's just straight up better to do on his turn if I can. And I can do it during his upkeep if I want to. Momentary Blink here. If he has the counter spell, I get blown out, I guess. Oh, he has no cards. Tap down that. Tap down that. And he drew a land. I could win this still. Wow. Land for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll swing in. I will keep these already don't untap, so I just need to keep that one tapped. What's better? 1, 2, 3. So it takes me 4 to Momentary Blink from here, which is the only blink effect I have right now. Or I can play this. Yeah, I can't do both. And this is blue, and that's either. So I guess blue is my scarcest commodity. So I guess I want to play white when I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Panharmonicon, and then on his upkeep, I will tap down 3 lands. Is that the best I can do? Oh, and I'll have a negate up, right? Yes, that sounds great. So upkeep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Momentary Blink. Frost Titan. One, 2, 3. Metamorphose. I was gonna flip all my guys to hand, which is annoying. I guess that's fine. As long as he doesn't draw Bolt, I'm okay with that. I could counter this before he gets to do anything else, or I could wait until I see what he gets, because he might just get a land, in which case I would feel silly for countering it. No, I guess that's fine. Gets a land. Perfect. Wins his deck, goes to 7. And he passes turn. I guess I crack a clue. Okay. Another negate. That's actually really nice. So I guess Nimbus Maze, because that taps for anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can Frost Titan. Tap down. Tap down. Tap down. Yeah, I think I want the negates up in case he has a burn spell. So I think I'm going to keep... I guess I shouldn't need more than 1, but I'm going to keep them both up in case, I don't know. I guess maybe I should have played a single Wall of Omens down. No, I have way too many cards. So what do I want to get rid of? Mistmeadow Witch feels good. Wall of Omens might just not be that good anymore. Do I want to get rid of all three, or do I want to get rid of one of these cards? Land I could get rid of, I guess. Doesn't seem super relevant here, but he might be able to flip the last guy. I think I'll get another wall. I will break a clue. Sure. Land for turn. Put on Mistmeadow Witch. Combat. Tap down. Land. Just to make sure nothing super bad happens. Take him to 1 life. 1, 2, 3. Still have enough for a bunch of negates and to blink my guy, so I think that's fine. And I will. I gotta gate that. One, 2, 3. Well, I want to hold up my last negate. Do I play down Mistmeadow Witch, or do I play down... I think I play down Mistmeadow Witch over Wall of Omens. I don't think I need to draw anything else. I think I just hold up negate. Sure. Yeah. Good game. Wow. Whew. Wow. Good game. That was a long one. I guess I run it back. I don't think we're winning many of those. Maybe Magus to the Disc just isn't good. I never felt like casting it. Panharmonicon did win us the game eventually. Being able to bounce his stuff is super important. Alright, let's try that. Oof. Well, alright. Hopefully I didn't stop talking and get too bored. I think we're going to go to time and not finish this match. But it was more competitive than I thought. I definitely managed to turn. I got to a point where I could cast Frost Titan and blink in a bunch and get Panharmonicons out, and it suddenly started feeling good. The man is awkward here, but this seems like a keep. He probably is just too fast for me, is my guess. That's untapped, so probably like Serum Vision's Faithless Looting, also very good. Hopefully I just draw white mana so I can go turn 1 Thraben Inspector, but if not, I don't feel that bad. Reflector Mage is a pretty good draw anyway. Pass turn. That is what I want against his thing in the ice. He might be stuck on 1 mana. That's super interesting. Suspend a Riftwing Cloudskate. I mean, if he doesn't play anything that I have to deal with, I'm obviously slamming Thraben Inspector and playing the value game. He's digging for land like mad, I guess. That's my suspicion, because otherwise I can't imagine what he's doing. But he did not find one. Interesting. Right, that ticks down. Got a white mana. I'll play my white mana, I guess. It doesn't make sense to play Reflector Mage on an empty board. I will Thraben Inspector and then crack the clue on his end step, I suppose. I guess I could crack the clue now. There's no reason to crack the clue now. Oh, wait. Represent counterspell or something. So I'm hoping he has Thing in the Ice. Yes, that's the one I was hoping he had. Crack clue, get a land. Counts down. What's that? Is that 1? And I get another Reflector Mage. Alright, well. I'll just Reflector Mage that. Swing on in. Well, he got his lands at least. It's up to 3. Yeah, I can do a pretty good job of keeping his Thing in the Ices off the board, but unfortunately I don't think I can do much against if he has the other thing. Okay, he kills my Reflector Mage. Sure, that's fine. Pass his turn. Comes in. Cast. Does he have like a 1 mana counter? No. Alright. I'll bounce your Sacred Foundry to hand, I guess. Draw. So now I do have an interesting choice. I kind of feel like just Riftwing Cloudskating the Steam Vents and bouncing it to his hand, but that could be totally wrong. I think I'm going to swing first just because that leaves me with some stuff open. Man, I think I am going to do that. Cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bounce that one to hand. Thought Scours, sure. Okay, plays Sacred Foundry, plays Thing in the Ice. Be a land, please be a land. Nope, that's also pretty good. Man, do I Eerie Interlude here? I think I do. I think the right play is, right, Wall of Omens. Land. Attack all. He's going to block Thing in the Ice against Thraben Inspector. Sure, he's going to take 4. Eerie Interlude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, I think I'm going to get there against him. Okay. So now the only question is, do I bounce Thing in the Ice to hand, or do I go, well, he probably can't, I think I'm just going to bounce both his lands to hand. Probably can't Thing in the Ice me from 0 lands here, that's my guess. Okay, pass turn. Maybe he can. Maybe that was a huge punt, I'm not sure. Steam Vents, he Lightning Bolts, one of my Riftwings. Sure, that's fine. Right, passes turn. Has to discard a couple cards. Disenchant, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably better off just doing 3. Reflector Mage, that. Attack, back in. Lightning Helix, you know. I'll just Eerie Interlude. Good games. Wow. Wow. He had some rough draws, but I did not think we were getting there in that matchup. Whew. And it didn't end up going to time, which is awesome. Sweet. I mean, man, I guess this deck is just sweet. I guess this is just a sweet deck. I did not expect to go 4-1, which is I think what we went. I have to look back. We actually went something more like 6-1 because a bunch of people left after one round. One of them was obviously like a deck of just random, almost like mostly standard legal commons. So they probably just didn't know what they were doing. And then the other one was some kind of infects deck that I got Reflector Mage out and I blinked their creature with it twice, and they were like, oh god, this is never happening. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. It's wrap up time for $10 Flicker. We did pretty well. We went 4-1. I was really impressed. I had done a bunch of practice matches with this before I started recording real matches with a very different build of the deck. I mean, I was doing practice matches to tweak the deck and figure out how to make it good so that it wouldn't just lose all the time. And the last minute ads I had, I practiced with literally once, and I won that game too. Those were basically putting in the Frost Titans. I think I only put 2 for that match, and then putting in the Soul Wardens just because I would just get run over some games early on. But yeah, early on in my testing, I found that I would get run over by aggro, and I would get ground out by grindy decks, and I would lose to big decks too. So I was just losing to everybody just because I could durdle really well, but super grindy decks would still beat me sometimes, and I didn't have a good finisher. And so I solved those with Panharmonicon to outgrind the grindy decks. Frost Titan to have some high end so that I can actually finish games eventually, which was just a problem. And then Soul Warden, both for a little bit of life gain and just to keep me in the game against aggro. And that ended up paying off. I think the things I took out were Seagate Oracles and maybe some more Blink effects. I don't exactly remember everything I took out. But I think that was most of it. I think maybe I went down some Mistmeadows and some Momentary Blinks. So yeah, we beat... I'm not going to lie to you. I think we got really lucky. I think Tron is a super bad matchup, as we saw. We lost it quite quickly. I don't know if we would beat that weird Sakura Tribe Elder Liliana deck that was kind of... I'm wondering if that guy's testing for Aether Revolt, because it seemed really weird that he was running Sakura Tribe Elder. The only thing that it seemed to fire off of that was flipping the Lily, which, I mean, that does make sense. That is a good reason to run it, but it feels a little too cute to just be run for that. But maybe he's figuring that it'll be more useful when Aether Revolt comes out and there are all those Revolt cards or whatever they're called, like Fatal Push, or I don't remember what it's called. The cards everybody's talking about that are going to be good in Modern. And then, yeah, I don't think we normally would have a good chance against Storm. I think he had some bad draws in there. What else did we play against? Oh yeah, Burn, I think, is a terrible matchup. I don't think we're going to win that one most of the time. And that Tokens matchup, I don't know. It felt like we got pretty lucky in what we drew, because we needed to bounce a lot of tokens, and we happened to get Machinery out to just bounce a slew of tokens. But there are some games where you just get Mulldrifters and things like that, and all you're doing is drawing cards, and he will dump a bunch of 3/3 flying tokens, and you'll just get run over. So I'm not 100% sure. I think we got pretty lucky, but I mean, the deck's obviously good. I mean, it's good enough to take wins off people. I decided on this page to put down X's on the cards that I thought were the least well performing. Soul Warden, we just didn't even draw very much, but we didn't gain a lot of life off it. Magus of the Disc ended up being, I feel bad at putting that mark by it, but it ended up being bad in a couple matches, just because it was like, oh, it'll come out and it won't do anything because it comes in tapped. I have to wait a turn, it'll get removed before it comes in. Most people who deal with it did. But it was actually really good in a bunch of matchups. It was really good against Burn. That super grindy Huntmaster of the Fells Liliana deck thing was actually pretty good against too. So it definitely wasn't a total loss. And Momentary Blink was good, but it was also just the weakest of our Blink effects. Eerie Interlude and Mistmeadow Witch, I felt pretty good when I had them a lot at the time. Mistmeadow Witch mostly late game. Early game it was a little bit crappy, but Momentary Blink I just never really felt good about having. I never got to pull off the draw 4 cards off Mulldrifter by playing it down and then Momentary Blinking it. So I mean, it was alright, but it wasn't great. So yeah, I mean, those X's aren't to say those cards are terrible in the deck. I just think those were the weakest performing cards in the deck. And then I put check marks by the 3 cards that I thought were the strongest performing. Again, a lot of the other cards were actually really strong performing too. Frost Titan and Panharmonicon, for instance, maybe should get check marks. I wanted to only choose 3, and so I picked the ones that I thought were best overall. And Wall of Omens, just in so many games, it was what allowed us to get to the point where we could grind. Without Wall of Omens, we just folded to way too many decks that were just slightly too aggressive and too fast. So I had to put that in there. It also just drew us a ton of cards over the course of the game. Reflector Mage, pretty much for the same reason as Wall of Omens. It kept us in so many games by bouncing threats and keeping them off the board. And then Eerie Interlude, just the ability to blink your whole team. It turns out in a deck where your whole deck is built around enter the battlefield abilities, if you can just fire 5 or 6 of those at once, you're going to be doing pretty well. So that's the other one that I gave a check mark to. The next slide I wanted to basically talk a little bit about prices on this budget deck. So I play on Magic Online a lot. And I figure some people might try to build this deck on Magic Online. If so, the list I gave is the list that you want. But especially in paper, over half of the price of this deck in paper is on the Nimbus Mazes rather, and that just seems absurd to me. Nimbus Maze costs, oh god, how many times more is that? Well over 20 times more on in paper than it does on Magic Online, and you can get lands just as effective in paper, or at least almost as effective in paper, in Glacial Fortress, for instance, which Glacial Fortress Online is almost 3 times as expensive as Nimbus Mage, but in paper it's, you know, a fifth as expensive. So you're talking $10 for a playset of Glacial Fortresses as opposed to $55 for a playset of Nimbus Mazes. So if you're going to build this deck in paper, I would advise either using Glacial Fortresses or the newer dual lands that have been coming out, which are still pretty cheap, are fine too. They're a little bit more than Glacial Fortresses, but yeah, like Prairie Stream, I forget the other one. Oh, Port Town, I think. So yeah, I mean, things like that would work fine in the deck too if you want to keep it cheap, or maybe those you already have if you play Standard. I mean, the other really expensive thing in the deck, I mean, Nimbus Maze is like half the price, and then the next third is Panharmonicons, and you could do without Panharmonicons. My first couple of versions did, but it's a really fun card to have. I like having it in the deck. It just makes me happy, so I would probably put that one in. And then I wanted to show you an upgraded version. Is this upgraded version that much better? I don't know. I should say, first off, I didn't actually test this deck at all. This was just a kind of theory I had about how I would build it if I was building a powered up version. So I think one of the big things I would do is, well, run a much better land base. So we're spending a lot more on land in this deck. These are online prices, by the way. And then put in some good removal in Path to Exile that costs 1 mana. I feel like you just got to play that in Modern if you want to be competitive. And then the big change is it's almost turned into an pseudo Eldrazi deck, like almost like Bant Eldrazi with some flicker targets, and then obviously without the green. So I put in Eldrazi Displacer over Mistmeadow Witch, and I went all the way up to 4 of them just because this card is very strong, works really well with Eldrazi Temples, which we also put in, and then a bunch of other random Eldrazi. Drowner of Hope can shut down games pretty fast in the same way that Frost Titan can. It can't keep them off mana, but it can tap down all their creatures so they can never attack or block. Thought Knot Seer actually has a pretty good enter the battlefield ability, so you can basically keep them to only drawing lands if you abuse that. Restoration Angel is the other blink effect I put in. This is just like, it's a blink effect on a 3/4 flyer, so again, it just closes out the game much more quickly than we would otherwise. But you know, a lot of the rest of the deck looks the same. Thraben Inspectors, Wall of Omens, Reflector Mages are still in there. Those are kind of some of the best blink targets you can get. Yeah, I think this deck would be a lot of fun. I don't know, since I haven't played it, this list probably needs a lot of tweaking too. But yeah, I would say this would be a good start to trying it if you wanted to kind of go for a higher price deck and maybe hopefully make it more competitive. I suspect this would be more competitive, although we did go 4-1, so who knows, maybe that other deck is just as competitive. I'm not sure. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Hey guys, Bobgar here. I just really wanted to quickly say, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you enjoy my content in general and would like to see more of it, subscribe. I'll be coming out with more content in the future. And please leave me comments and let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, both in terms of production and in terms of my play and my deck building and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.